Bismarck Veterans Memorial Public Library offers many storytime options for kids, but they're about to welcome a very special visitor from the North Pole.
That's right, Tiffany Town is here to tell us all about the upcoming guest speaker, Mrs. Claus. Thank you so much for being with us today, Tiffany.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, you must know the right people. How did you get Mrs. Claus?
You know, we are just very, very lucky. Mrs. Claus touched base with us and offered, as we know, December is an incredibly busy time for Santa and Mrs. Claus, and she was able to make it work so that we could offer some story times and have a special experience for our families.
So story time with Mrs. Claus from 9:30 to 10:30 tomorrow. Kids can also ask questions about the North Pole and take pictures. What do you want kids and adults to take away from this experience?
I just think it adds to the magic of the holidays. I think being able to have a personal experience with Mrs. Claus is so special. She is a lot of fun. She is very open about her experiences at the North Pole and what she does there. And she just really wants the kids to have a fun and special experience as well.
Well, I mean, it's going to be huge to have Mrs. Claus here to read the story. Do we know what she's going to be reading?
She has a whole selection of books that she chooses from, some of her favorites, and so we don't have specific titles, but she'll definitely have some holiday favorites.
Okay, and then I'm just kind of curious. Tell us about your role at the Bismarck Library and what you kind of hope children experience when they get to come.
Sure. So I am the Youth Services Program Coordinator for Children, which really just means that I am the one scheduling and coordinating story times and events. So story times are really the most important part of my job, but I also get to add events like we're really excited about a music and movement series that we're doing. So that includes a lot of dance with Northern Plains Dance as well. We're very lucky to have them come visit. We have yoga. We have, we're going to be having some Tiny Tots dancing coming up this spring. So there's just a lot of really fun events. And my goal is that kids know that they can come to the library not only for books, but for fun as well, for fun experiences and trying something new, and just really having it be a center in our community.
So this time of year I feel like is, especially magical, and along with that you have kids coming in, you have the dancing, you have Mrs. Claus. It just seems very magical. So tell us about the environment.
So I love our children's library. Our library in general is great, but our children's library, if you've ever been there, you see the trees when you walk in. There's just the environment itself is so welcoming. And so adding to the magic of the holidays, it's just that, we get a little bit of a buzz. There's more energy, there's more excitement. Kids are coming in, they're looking at the Christmas and holiday books. They're participating in the different activities that are happening. And so it's just really, it's fun to watch. I feel like we've come a long way from libraries being known as the very quiet, you walk in, you don't talk. It's just a place for kids to come and enjoy themselves.
Believe it or not, we were reading Jan Brett's Nutcracker book last night. My kids were, because we're trying to get in the holiday spirit. Are there any books that you really like to recommend this time of year, especially for little ones?
Yeah, I mean, there's so many great ones. I am very partial to The Grinch. I think it's a classic. That's one that I like to read every year. One that we just got new at the library that I love is Christmas at Hogwarts. So it's a special picture book version of the day at Hogwarts that Ron and Harry get to spend together. And so I have that one checked out for myself right now. But yes, I encourage everybody to come and check out all of our holiday books.
Well, I'm gonna have to look into that. I'm a big Harry Potter fan too. So once you turn it in, I'll check it out.
Yes.
Something else I feel like is always fun to highlight about the library is also what else you can check out besides just the books.
Absolutely.
Because I mean, there's board games. I mean, there's so many things.
Yes. So of course we have so many books, but we have, like you said, the board games. We have DVDs. We have video games. Some of the things that people aren't so much aware of, we have life jackets and fishing poles that people can check out. Obviously, when it gets a little warmer. Yeah. But yeah, there's just so many different options, and I think we're just really working on creating an opportunity for people to try new things.
Which is beautiful. And you don't want to miss hearing Mrs. Claus tell her story tomorrow. So does anyone need to register, or you just kind of show up?
You just show up. 9:30 is when we'll start the story time, and then she will have a little bit of time for questions and explaining some things, and then we'll have time for pictures, which are free, of course, to the public. So
Very exciting.
To end really fast, today in the daily poll, we asked everyone what their favorite Christmas movie was. Well, specifically from the 40s, 50s, and 60s.
Yes.
We got to know what yours was. Maybe we can pull those
I would
back
have to just go with Rudolph. I think
Yeah.
that's the best one for me.
Classic. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
thank you so much, Tiffany, so much for being with us today.
Thank you for having me.
And for more information, check out the Bismarck Library website at bismarcklibrary.org. They also have a Facebook page. You can also go visit them, like we said, tomorrow to go see Mrs. Claus at 515 North 5th Street in Bismarck.